This is Maury of Yasharal. The Loophole. Instructions from Shaul. This is my 32nd year in ministry. In all of those years, every time that the law is introduced, people look for a loophole, a way out. Let's see if we can find one. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 12 to 15. 12. But to the rest speak I, not Yahuwah. So, Shaul is speaking on his own. He's teaching on his own through the Ruah. Does he have the ability to do this? As long as he does not speak outside of the law. What does he mean to the rest speak I? Well, we came from 10 and 11, and Yahuwah said, wives, don't depart from your husband. But if you depart, you are to remain alone, or be reconciled, go back to your husband. Then he said, husbands, do not put away your wife. Let's continue. If any brother have a wife that believes not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Let me paint a picture. They both were Christians from the beginning, but the brother came to the way. He has a higher level of consciousness now. But the wife wants to remain a Christian. He keeps a Shabbat on the lunar event. She keeps her Shabbat on Pope Gregory's calendar Sunday. It's a major conflict. But from what Shaul is saying here, that's not a prerequisite to put her away. You see, people think of any excuse to do these things, but you can't. If she be pleased to dwell with you, then you cannot put her away. 13. And the woman which hath a husband that believes not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Okay, now it's the opposite. She's come to a higher level of consciousness. But her husband is just sitting on the couch playing video games, watching football with his friends. He doesn't keep any commandments. He doesn't even open the book. But the woman wants to put him away. Here's the instructions. Don't leave him. 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband, else your children will be unclean. But now they are set apart. 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. Don't try to hold on to him. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases. But Yah have called us to peace. You see, all of the conflict is gone now. He wants to depart. You don't have to worry about him. Now you don't have to worry about him on the couch, playing video games, watching football with his friends, not reading the book. Just let him go. Same for you guys. If the woman does not want to stay with you, let her depart. Yah has called you to peace. Hey, is this the loophole? Is Shaul giving us the green light to marry again? Let's see. 16. For what knowest you, O wife, whether you shall save your husband? See, it started with the women. Or how knowest you, O man, whether you shall save your wife? 17. But as Yah have distributed to every man, as Yahuwah have called everyone, so let him walk. He's speaking of the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments. You have to walk in them. And so ordain I in all churches, assemblies. Okay. Shaul didn't give anyone the right to remarry. He said walk in the law. But there was no go-ahead for the man or the woman to remarry because their wife walked away or because their husband walked away. So this is not a loophole after all. Let's look at more context to see what he says later. And I want you to read the whole chapter of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Test, try, prove everything that I'm saying. We'll drop down to 27. Are you bound unto a wife? He's asking questions. Who is he speaking to? He's speaking to the man. Only he can be bound to a wife. Seek not to be loose. Don't put her away. Are you loose from a wife? Did she walk away from you? Seek not a wife. I understand, Shaul. I understand. The person that you choose could make you unclean in every way. 28. But, and if you marry, you have not transgressed the law. Who's he speaking to? The husband? And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Someone's missing here. Where's the woman who was married before? Where's the woman who walked away from her husband? Where's the woman who have children? She doesn't have the right to marry again. Do you understand? But he can marry again because his wife walked away from him. He is the head. He is the Alayam of this earth. His job is to bring forth children, the next generation of the children of Yasharal. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Shaul said, it's better to marry than to burn with passion, but to marry again, it's going to be trouble, guys. 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Do you know what he's speaking of? Deuteronomy 28. You shall be espoused to a wife, and another man shall sleep with her. This is not a joke, brothers and sisters. Sexual transgressions lead to death. They have the death penalty. Take this seriously. All right, well, we didn't see the woman who was married before. Let's drop down a little further, see if we can find something for her. 38. So then he that giveth her in marriage does well. Giveth who? If you read the context, you'll see it's a virgin. But he that giveth her not in marriage does better. Even in that time, it was better to remain alone. 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. He's given instructions. He's telling the virgin, you are bound by the law to this man as long as he's alive. What if he left? The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. What if he's beating on me? You can depart, but the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. The only thing you can do, if he's beating on you and you left him, is to remain alone. Or you would make whoever you come in contact with unclean. But if her husband is dead, now she is free. She has liberty to be married to whom she will. Only in Yahuwah, you can only choose a man from the children of Yasharal, no one outside of your people. 40. But she is happier if she so abide. You're going to take a man to rule over you and your children after my judgment. And I think also that I have the Ruah of Yah. So he's teaching us through the Ruah about marriage. Did he deviate from the law? No, he did not. These are dangerous times. Let's start with the men. The man divorces his wife with the intent to marry another. She's far more pretty. Yeah. She does all the things he loves. If you were to marry the woman that he put away, you commit adultery. And he who put away his wife to marry another, he is committing adultery. Scary, brothers and sisters. We have to cleanse ourselves. Be careful. Then you have the lady. She walked away from her husband. She came to the way. Now she feels that she's at liberty to marry again. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives, but if her husband be dead, only then is she at liberty to marry again. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Yahuwah. I'm just the herald. Everyone else is afraid to do this. I am not. My purpose here is to cry loud, spare not, show the people their transgressions. Even me. Look at Shaul here. Shaul was murdering people in the way. Do you guys remember? Yet he repented, turned back to Yahuwah. Now, he's speaking to the people through the Ruah. Look at me. I am the chief among sinners. I don't think you guys could have possibly been as good as I were, because I had a lot of money. But I put it all away. Turn to Yahuwah, keeping his commandments. I have nothing in my life in this time to make me unclean. You see, Shaul said it's better for you to abide alone after his judgment. I agree, because the world is twisted today. We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of Yahuwah. Now it's time to change our behavior. This message is mainly for the young people, the young men. Watch yourself. Be careful. Do not get sucked in to an adulterous relationship. Well, what do we do, Brother Dawood? Safety seal is the only way. Shalom.